Let's quickly now run you through the sequence of events that led up to Bal Thackeray finally breathing his last, and some important information pertaining to his funeral, all of which is very, very important for the city of Mumbai. As we said, that he breathes his last at precisely 3:33 p.m. That's the time when the doctors came out and made their announcement before the camera crews that were waiting, provoking emotional scenes outside Maharashtrians. Now, the funeral procession is expected to start at 7 a.m. Tomorrow. It will leave Maharashtra at that time, and then it will make its way to Shivaji Park, where Thackeray's body will be kept for public viewing. The last rites are expected to be performed tomorrow at some time around 6 o'clock. The city has remained largely peaceful, but just as a measure of precaution, Mumbai police has advised people to stay indoors. And just to go into a little bit more of the details of that, the city is calm because also of repeated appeals by the Shiv Sena to maintain peace. And that advisory actually says of the Mumbai police that they should only step out of their houses, the people of Mumbai, if there is an emergency, and also saying that they should avoid the Western Expressway which runs past Maharashtra, because certain restrictions on traffic's movements in the city have been brought in, especially from Bandra, where Maharashtra is, to Dadar, to Shivaji Park, where the last rites will be performed. An appeal is made by them, by the police, for people to maintain calm and peace. And just to quickly run you through the route that this funeral procession will take of Bal Thackeray, the last journey will begin, as we said, at 7 a.m. at his residence of Maharashtra, which is in Bandra East, and will move southwards across the heart of the city to Mahim, and to, in fact, the Sena Bhavan, and there again there might be some prayers and so on, and a function going past, of course, then back towards Shivaji Park, past the statue of his late wife Meenatai Thackeray, and then at Shivaji Park it will be kept for people to come and pay their last respects. And then the cremation, it's still not clear whether or not it will take place in Shivaji Park itself, which will be unprecedented for it to actually take place there. But it could also take place at the Dadar crematorium, which is just across the road, abutting the Mahim Creek. The only concern there being whether the size of the crematorium can accommodate so many different people. Well, right from the time when the news first broke off Bal Thackeray's death, reactions have been pouring in across the political spectrum. And given the fact that Bal Thackeray led a highly controversial and contested political life, was extremely candid in his criticism of his political opponents, sometimes even going against his own allies like the BJP, the reactions were surprisingly florid, with a number of leaders expressing what a towering personality he was in Indian politics, but some also pointing out that despite the fact that he used to target them personally, they still maintained a degree of personal regard for him.
There are few persons in the world who have the courage to speak what they believe is right. Bala Sahab was one such great person.
अपने संगठन से महाराष्ट्र की नई पीढ़ी में एक ऊर्जा पैदा की, और पिछले कई सालों तक देश की जो औद्योगिक राजधानी है, आर्थिक राजधानी है, ऐसे मुंबई जैसे शहर पर एक अपनी कमान दुनिया को देशवासियों को, दुनिया को दिखाई।
हमारा कभी कभी झगड़ा भी होता था, लेकिन उसके बाद वो मिनट भर के बाद झगड़ा खत्म हो जाता था और हमारे सहयोग चलते आता था।
देश ने तो खोया ही है, मैंने व्यक्तिगत रूप से भी एक मार्गदर्शक खोया है, एक स्वजन खोए हैं।
His demise today has left a gaping void in the country's politics, which will not be easy to fill.
Right, so a gaping void for LK Advani, a Marg Darshak, or somebody who is a guiding light for Narendra Modi. These are the sort of comments emerging in the aftermath of the death of Bal Thackeray. We'll have, of course, a very active and close debate on all of these comments very shortly. But first, the news for our viewers. Let's go across now live to Miloni Bhatt, who's been at Matoshri since the news broke. In fact, over the past several days at that media stockade just outside the Thackeray residence. Miloni, from the pictures that we've been seeing at Matoshri, the crowds have now swelled to a fairly large figure. How many people would you say are there right now?
At least 5,000 to 6,000 Shiv Senics and Shiv Sena supporters have gathered outside Matoshri now. So they are all on the road which leads to Matoshri, and they have spread all across. So the main arterial road which leads from the station to Matoshri, that has been more or less shut to vehicular traffic. There's layered and tiered security across Matoshri, and we understand that thousands of cops are there on the ground and ensuring that they maintain calm. But these crowds, I must say, they were extremely agitated when the news first came out, and also the media was targeted. And now we've been put in an enclosure in a compound which is directly opposite to the Matoshri compound entrance. So we are all on the other side, but the crowd right now is maintaining silence. In fact, a lot of Shiv Sena leaders have come out and appealed to them continuously, telling them that they need to maintain peace, they need to maintain calm, and this is the way that they need to honor the memory of Bal Thackeray.
Right, so that's important, Miloni, that despite the fact that earlier there was some unrest and once again the pattern of targeting media, at least now there seems to be calm. Tejas Mehta, that's not just true of where you are right now in Matoshri, but across the city as well. Things have largely been calm, even though some parts of the city have chosen to shut down just as a measure of precaution for tomorrow's funeral procession, which, as you pointed out, is going to start at 7 a.m. and make its way through that entire heart of the city towards Sena Bhavan and also at Shivaji Park, where the last rites are going to be performed.
Actually, since about as soon as the news about his demise came in, most people began to shut down shutters, and of course, autos and taxis also stopped plying in many areas. The main problem, Srinivasan, will be at the airport and at terminuses, railway terminuses, because people coming from outside Maharashtra, outside Mumbai, and also from other parts of the country to Mumbai, how will they go back home tomorrow or to their hotels or wherever they need to go? That's going to be an issue. Also, at the international airport and domestic airports, passengers coming in already are facing problems because there are no taxis and no autos which are plying from these areas. So that's going to be an even more major issue tomorrow, because taxis have been asked not to ply tomorrow. Autos will take a call, perhaps a few will ply. BST buses are going to be in larger numbers tomorrow. Of course, the trains are there, but people with luggages, that's going to be a big problem. Even now, basic amenities are not available, like milk or some food or vegetables, water for people need to have every day, need to buy stuff. So all these are issues which are already affecting the Aam Aadmi. But of course, for 24 hours with Mumbai, will have to, we'll have to grin and bear with this entire situation, given the fact that it's rather inconvenient for large areas because they are not having the basic amenities. As far as tomorrow's cremation is concerned, the Shiv Sena leaders have been saying they will want to do it at the Shivaji Park itself. They are rather quite insistent, but of course they have not got any confirmation from the government at this point of time, because as per norm, as per law, they should be doing it at a crematorium, which is perhaps at the Dadar crematorium itself. It's never happened at the Dadar Shivaji Park, so that's something which the Maharashtra government will have to take a call on. Srinivasan?